Good morning, everybody in the Wise Agent Society. We are excited to be here today. We are going to be talking. This is our weekly national real estate news. I don't know if you call it a podcast, you call it a vlog, you call it a Zoom that's recorded. That's what it is. All of those, I think. So this is what we do weekly. We talk about either the national economy or the national real estate news, or we talk about certain areas where we have a lot of people in our house. And so today, we're going to talk about Denver, Colorado. I am not an expert in Denver, but we be a lot more savvy with the Denver market here shortly. So with that, also hope everybody had a wonderful 4th of July. Happy Independence Day for that. We had a great time. As some of you might know, I was traveling for 2 weeks and doing a cross-country tour, meeting with lots of agents, doing a lot of fun stuff with my kids. And now we are back in action for a few more days. Then I'm going to San Antonio next week. So to do some amazing stuff with EXP. By the way, anybody that wants to go to San Antonio to the Build conference to learn and grow, let me know. It's something that you should be at, and it's amazing. All right, I'm gonna share my screen, and we are going to. Sarah, can you see that?
Yes.
Cool. We are going to go over the Denver housing market today and just see what's happening there. Maybe next week we'll do Las Vegas, probably. That's what I'm going to say. So put that on the list there, Tara. So the Denver housing market is very competitive, aren't they all? So we're still in a basically housing inventory crisis. There are not enough houses to sell. If they built triple houses for the next 5 years, we wouldn't have enough for how many buyers we have. And that's with interest rates being high. So we're being up anyway. Now is the best time to buy a house, because once the interest rates do go down, and they will eventually, it could be a year, it could be 2 years, whatever it is. But once they go down, housing prices will skyrocket. They will skyrocket. All these people sitting on the sidelines are going to suddenly want to buy houses because the rate is low, and it's going to just drive prices up. Multiple offers on all homes. Competition will be high. So if you're thinking about buying a house, right now is the time to do it while people aren't trying to bid the houses up, and you can get houses for less, and you can get some closing costs. You can get things paid for. You can get requests for repairs done, all that stuff. Because once the interest rates fall into, I would say, the 6s, if they get to the 5s, it's game over. Like, you're gonna pay $50,000 to $100,000 over your appraised value for houses. You have 20, 30 offers, and you're going to get 0 concessions from sellers. So right now it's a good time to buy, as far as that goes. So Homes and Denver received 3 offers on average and sell in 8 days. That's freaking fast. That's like super duper fast. The median sale price of a home in Denver is $600K. Not bad. Down 2% since last year. Median price per square foot is $380. That's a high number. That's, it should cost you probably two, depending on your finishes, about $200 a square foot to build a house. So that's something to keep in mind. That's down 7.5% since last year. So those are good things to notice. The market is a little soft now. Not crazy. I mean, 2% of 600,000 is what? That's not really funny. $12,000, right? So it's percent off that they're going down. They're just on the West Coast. We're seeing more drops than on the East Coast. East Coast seems to be really strong. West Coast seems to be the ones that are dropping the most. So let's look here. Moving along, Denver housing market trends. Down 2%. We know that. Okay. On average, home sold in 8 days instead of 5 days last year. There are 1,049 homes sold in May this year. And that is down from 1551 last year. So this is the crazy stuff. So yeah, okay, sure. Houses might be softening a bit and taking 3 days more to sell. But there's what is that? It's a third. There's 30% less houses over year. That's crazy. It's just crazy. Like 1,500 isn't even a lot. And then now it's 1,000 that were sold in May. That's crazy. So good stats to know. And here's the chart for that. The number of homes sold, here's a stat for you, 32% lower. That's why I said 30%. So I mean, that's just a giant chunk. So like you still have the same, probably more people that want to buy houses that are able to buy houses. Millennials and those that segment of people are through the roof available to buy houses right now. Unemployment is super strong right now in the country. Unemployment is historical lows. So that's just making that that's why the prices aren't if there was more inventory, but the builders haven't, they're way behind. Very competitive market. That's at 85 on the Redfin scale. Many homes get multiple offers, some waive contingencies. I'm sure a lot of them do, but some of them probably don't. Large homes sell for around list price and go pending in 7 days. Hot homes can go 2% above list average and go pending in 4 days. So yeah, all that makes sense. There you go. This is sale to list price is a little over 100%. Which is down 4.7% from last year. So that last year means they were going for 105% ish, which was pretty common in a lot of places, a lot of hot metro hubs. I would say Denver is one of the hottest in the country, but I mean, there's lots in San Diego, lots in Texas, Austin, Denver, or I'm sorry, Dallas, and lots in Florida too. North Carolina, Raleigh's hot. There's so many Nashville. There's so many good hot places right now. But this is another interesting one. Homes with price drops, 48.3%. That has gone up year over year, which makes sense with our price stuff that we saw up here being down 2%. That means that people are not being able to just price, 10% over what their house is worth and get it. Because there are people on the sidelines, the buyers are on the sidelines and not doing anything. Therefore, that's why it's a hot opportunity for a buyer to get in there and buy stuff right now. So what is it? Marry the house, date the rate. Marry the house, date the rate. So that's what we want to keep in mind. Oh, these are fun. The migration and the relocation trends. In April 23 to June 23, 5% of Denver homes searched to move out of Denver, while 65 look to stay within the metropolitan area. Where are people moving to Denver from? Miami. Denver searched to move into Denver more than any other metro, followed by Colorado Springs and San Francisco. San Francisco's moved. It's probably the hardest hit market in the country for price drops and value drop. San Francisco's having a tough time overall. If you haven't been there in a while, they're having huge problems with homeless. I was there and we encountered so many crazy homeless stories in one time. One visit, it was sad to see, really. Anyway, so that's affecting their home values. That's affecting a lot of stuff. So a lot of people are moving to San Francisco. They're more than like 25% down in value, maybe more than that. I don't know. So they are moving to Denver and Miami. Miami moving to Denver. So people from Denver moving to Chicago and Fort Collins and Phoenix. Phoenix is a popular place too for people moving to right now. Chicago, though, how about that? It's pretty cool. Let's see here, moving from Denver to Chicago, Sarasota, Tampa, Orlando. So they're moving to Florida too. People are moving Florida to Denver, Denver to Florida. 4,004 people searching to move to Chicago. These are cool stats. Kansas City. I would say Kansas City. That's one of my favorite Midwestern cities. So that's interesting. Like people are moving there. A lot of people are just moving around other parts of. Yeah, there's a lot of people looking to search for Breckenridge. Breckenridge is really cool. I was just there. It's more like a 2 million minimum type single family home type place. Condos you could get for the 500-600s ish. They have all upwards of there. Not like Aspen. Aspen, I'm pretty sure the minimum house you can buy in Aspen is 5 million for a house. And you'd be lucky if you found that. I mean, I saw like house after house after house after house in the 40 millions and 20 millions. Like they're everywhere. Like that's how much they cost. Like it's just crazy. Aspen is the guy in Breckenridge was talking about prices of stuff, and he's like, you should check out prices. And I was like, well, and I was like, holy cow, it is something. Aspen, I mean, these are like some of them are like 1,200 square foot houses for $5-6 million. Those are the little not good ones, and then like the ones for 3,000 square foot are like 16-20 million. It's crazy. It's super interesting though. What is this up here? We can't see it pretty good. Seattle. Yep. Seattle. And Phoenix. Well, that's fun. Anyway, now we can see where people are moving out of Denver and then moving into Denver. So this would be good news to know for your marketing, especially if you have listings. So real estate agents, this is what I do with listings, especially I sold a house in Town, Iowa, my hometown a couple years ago. It was my own house. And I just knew that people couldn't afford to pay for the house in in that area. So I marketed to Denver and to New York City and San Francisco, and I marketed to these segments in San Diego and gosh, what else? A bunch of big places like that, Dallas maybe, but more of those other ones. And I marketed my house, paid marketing to those direct areas, and guess who bought my house? A young couple from Denver. Denver came to my house, so they did not come from Iowa to buy my house. So it's a good thing to know and to think about when you're marketing. Is the segments that you can tap into that will pay for your house. So another thing that I did there, similarly, I had a $4.3 million house or something like that in Rancho Santa Fe that I was listing. There was 12 houses in the community, 11 or 12 in this guard gated little community in Rancho Santa Fe, very high-end sought after neighborhood. And there were three other houses, so mine made four, all for sale, all had been sitting for like a year, maybe more, and including the one that I took over. And what I started doing was marketing internationally. So I started marketing to China and to, well, mainly China, but, and I did that through, I can't think of Tara, can you look up Chinese MLS or China MLSs and look and see? Trying to think of the company I use, but also so through ARIA, the Asian Association of Realtors, I was a member of that. We had access to several international platforms where I could advertise this property, and And so I did that, and then I would have open house parties. So I don't ever have just regular open houses. I have a little party at every time, and I usually have beer, wine, food, candy, stickers, koozies, all kinds of swag. And then I go around and invite all the neighbors to these open houses. And I put out bazillions of signs. I'm talking like 30, 40 open house signs everywhere. And I do this for every property that I do. And I'm not kidding you. We have at this one, and I had a picture for this one. This one on a Sunday in this guard gated neighborhood, we had over 100, maybe it was 120 people come through this open house party, and none of the other people like in the neighborhood, A, were having open houses, and then B, we're getting any traction anyway. So anyway, so mine had been on the market for over a year. I came in, I sold it in 3 months, I think, with multiple offers. One was a guy from Mexico, one was a corporation from China, and then one was another something. It's like some gas station owner. Like something. I think they owned a gas station. Anyway, or gas stations, plural maybe. Anyway, the funny thing was the Chinese people corporation won. They bid the most, and they also bought all the furniture in the place. This was a 9,000 something square foot house. It was amazing. It was beautiful. They had 7 custom waterfalls that took about 45 minutes to turn everything on in the house to get ready for showings. About the same to shut it down. And anyway, my point was that this Chinese corporation found it, saw it, came in. I also had the president, I think at the time, of the Asian Association of Realtors come and do a video segment on the house. She asked if she could. I was like, absolutely, let's do it. And so get exposure to the places where people are looking for that area is a super smart thing to do. Here's a question for you realtors out there is, do you think the people that live in the neighborhood of the house you're selling will be the likely buyer of your house? It could be, sure, but more likely than not, they already live in the neighborhood. They live there. They already have their house. They live there, right? Now they might know other people that they want to bring into the community. That's smart, but they probably aren't going to move into your house because they already live in the neighborhood. So you want to market in the neighborhood. So which neighborhoods and which areas are moving into your neighborhood? So if you figure that stuff out, that's super outside of the box, smart thinking that I don't think a lot of people are taking advantage of. So this is good info, super good info to be looking at on at least a monthly basis, if not weekly. Wow, here we go. Here's even more net inflow, right? 2,500 people moving in from Miami now, April to June of 23. So how would you be okay if you had maybe 10 of those buyers in contract in that month? Would it be okay? Would you like that? Yeah, you would. And that's just a drop in the bucket from what just came from Miami. Okay, so look at all these. Look at all these places: Colorado Springs, San Francisco, Boston, Washington, DC. But I mean, this one's a glaring one. It's like, hello, Miami. People in Denver right now, you ought to be targeting Miami homeowners looking to buy in Denver. Okay, now this one's a little trickier. This is just good to know, but lots of people are moving to Chicago. Now I see an opportunity there too. That's 4,000 people moving to Chicago. Would be to maybe create some ads saying, hey, and target Denver homeowners and say, hey, are you thinking about moving to Chicago? I don't know. And then secondly, I would be making some Chicago referral partner relationships, and actually with Miami too. What a stinking opportunity. You ought to be reaching out to Miami realtors and creating relationships with them for referrals to Denver. They're coming, so you might as well get them all. So that's some good stuff. It would be great to develop some relationships with people in Chicago so that you can get these listings and send them to somebody that's trustworthy and has a high, really good ethical work mindset, that's putting the client first before everything else instead of the realtor's needs. There's so many people in this in our workspace that are not putting the clients first, and that should be first and foremost all the time, not the agent's needs. And if you do that and you help people and put their needs before yours in all cases for all times, and you're super transparent and you're super honest and do everything the right way, you will get plenty of business. Trust me, you will get more business than you know what to do with, because you're honest and good person, not a used car salesman, and not trying to trick people into doing whatever it is that they're not. Stop people. Great, I love these home offer insights. Any news on the MLS, Tara?
Well, I just put a couple sites in the chat, but in here it says
Look for a particular one.
what do you see the ones I put in the chat?
No. No,
Not those.
nope. I just gave this information to somebody else too. Keep looking, and really, we can look for it and try to, if anybody is interested in learning more about international Chinese marketing, especially, let me know. But ARIA, so why don't you drop the link for ARIA?
Okay.
Asian Association, so AAREA, I think is what it is. But that is like for luxury and for international buyers and the luxury. So if you want to learn and break into the luxury market, ARIA is an amazing place to start. Probably said this on other things, but ARIA is definitely a place to be if you're going to be doing luxury. And if you want to learn about luxury and anything luxury, join the Asian Association of Realtors and all the great things that come along. And trust me, you're going to get more than you need for the $100 that you pay for the year. And you get this network of international sales platform too, okay, so these are fun. So wing offer $650 on 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 1,000 square foot place, full price cash offer furnished. At the time of offer, there was one other offer, 5% under list. Wow, that's cool if they knew all that information. Unless this is the listing agent, but it doesn't say, so it must have been just list price. Offer not accepted, 1.25 million offer on 1.25 is what it's sold for. Sellers received multiple cash offers and ended up going with the highest escalation clause, almost 10% over. That doesn't make sense either. The escalation clause is a super smart idea, which is so the escalation clause means that you will pay for any competing offer to a certain amount. So let's say, so it's 1.25 million, and they said, hey, actually, okay, so maybe this thing was listed at 1.2 million or 1.15 million, and escalation clause, will pay them over the proof of the highest offer, right? So they had to offer for 115, and they're like, look, we'll pay over 115 up to 1.3 million, let's say. If you can prove that you had another offer. So 2 things with escalation clauses. First of all, it tells them what your highest you'll pay is, so it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Any smart seller or seller's agent, listing agent might tell the clients like, hey, let's go back to them and say, here's our counter offer to their highest number. Maybe they'll do it, maybe they won't, but it sounds like they really want the house and this is how much they'll pay. And but they might be like, well, no, I'm only going to pay it up to that, to the one you've shown proof of it. That's well. So there's a lot of things to negotiate with that, but it's smart. Sometimes a smart way to get going into a house. 550 offer sold for 550. These are funny. Multiple offers, although very close to asking price. So they must just have better terms. 3 competing offers, 10 days on the market. That's good to know too. 7 days on market, 4 offers, 27 days on the market, 1 offer. So that's one that you would want to try to squeeze. 5% under list. That's probably not going to happen in most houses in this market. Which it did not work on this one. So they offered 325, it sold for 350. So we're seeing a trend here, right? Everybody is paying list price potentially and not getting it. And then if they're going list price, they're definitely not getting it. So you need to come in with a clean offer. So that means, well, depending on the situation. So you can offer list price, and then if you need concessions for something, maybe you pay over list price and then ask for a concession, if that makes sense. Because they're not just giving money away for free right now, because there's no inventory, so they don't need to. Although, depending on the situation, like if it's been on for 27 days, you might have some wiggle room on getting things done, getting things from the seller. We offered 325. No competing offers. Oh, there you go. 750 square foot, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, probably condo, 6% under list price. So there you go. There's an example of getting a little under. Love those stats. Let's see what else we got here. Sold July 5th. Here's some just recently sold homes. 41 days, 35 days, 60 days. Oh boy. 40 days. So I suppose it just depends on which area you're in, right? 48 days, 34 days, 55 days, 39 days. Wow. So these are all much longer than what the stats above said. Now, the stats above take into account everything everywhere. So this is just this is just a snapshot, right? 0% over list, 1% under list, 0% over list, 4% under list. These are the sold prices. 0% over list, 0% over list. So yeah, I get a whole lot of over list stuff, which is basically what we saw above too. 5% under list. So you're getting a little under or at list price. And then in this report, if you ever want to take a look, it tells you all kinds of good neighborhood home rankings, all that stuff, tells you what's popular. Schools in Denver have a lot of good schools. Elementary, lots of 9s and 10s. That's good. You can look at the climate risks. Everybody's still in a drought, although that is better this year with all the rain and snow we got in most of the places. And even in Denver, there's a ton of places with there's still snow on the mountains everywhere in Denver or in Colorado. As I drove through, I saw tons and tons of snow still on the mountains. It was beautiful, and just a good sign that we're gonna have continue to have a lot of water runoff, and that helps continue with the drought issues. I was going to look at one of these. Let's look at, I don't know. Should we do most walkable, most expensive, or most affordable? Tara.
Most affordable.
Most affordable?
Yeah.
All right. We'll see what the less expensive homes are and kind of where they're at. So this one looks like Aurora. Dayton Triangle, don't really know where that is. Three Lakes. Yeah, let's look. So $160,000. That's this one right here. Looks like it's near Indian Creek. If that's the right spot. And it looks nice. 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 600 square feet. I mean, that's pretty cheap. Yeah. Overall, for a big city, condo. I don't know anything about these neighborhoods, y'all. So when we have some of our people on from Denver in the future, they'll be able to tell us what more like the crime is like and that kind of thing. I don't talk about neighborhoods being good, bad, or otherwise. I talk about them being popular because lots of people want to live there. So people are calling me and saying, "Hey, I want to live in this area." That means it's popular. And I talk about crime. And so when people say, "Hey, what about this area?" I'm like, "Well, are you interested in a low crime area? Which one's more important?" I'm like, there's a lot of crime in that, yeah, and you can determine what's a lot or a little. Or really, what I tell them is look up on, I think it's a Crime Stopper app. Just like spot crime app. I said spot crime app in that area, and take a look and see if that crime is acceptable to you. There are crimes everywhere, by the way, in all of the nicest, most bougiest, most expensive cities in the country. They have crime too. But take a look at whatever area is in question and see if there is, observably more crime or if there's less crime or what's an acceptable amount of crime for you as a client. That's what I mean. I also say, you know what? Why don't you try driving by that neighborhood in the daytime and try driving through that neighborhood in the nighttime, and then tell me what you like the area. Okay, so that's some ways that you can help people figure out if it's a neighborhood that's acceptable to them. 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 600 square foot, same price ish as that last one. Hamden Avenue, Unit 4A, 161, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 617. So all three of those were in the same area, right? Yeah, relatively close. Now we'll go over there to like Bomar type-ish area. What's this? Three Lakes-ish area. Or Fort Logan or Academy Park. 617, 1 bedroom, 1 bath. These all look like fairly similar style buildings, they're just kind of like different style condos, and they're all the same price. And they're inexpensive. Buy this one along with unit A4 for 310K. You get two of them for the price of 9-month lease. Has $1,250 a month on it. I can't do that kind of math right now, but I don't know if that's a good ROI actually. This one has a lease of $950 per month. These are 183, 701 square foot. This one looks somewhat modernized. 189, 749. What number was this? This is number 8. That's up in the Aurora area. Or Del Mar Parkway or East Colfax, maybe. Yeah, unmatched offering for under 200K. University of Colorado. And Schutz Medical Campus. It's kind of a cool one for the price, I don't, like I said, I don't know the area, but it looks like you might be close to a lot of stuff and to the school, which would be really cool for your student. That'd be a smart buy. So anyway, those are all of those, but now let's go ahead and let's look at the expensive ones. Those are a little bit more fun than the least expensive ones. Oh. Oh shoot. Go back into it. But this Redfin tool is pretty neat for you to be looking at sharing data with your clients. This helps to be on top of your market and be the area expert. All right, 10 most expensive homes in Denver. It's 12 million. 12 million right here. Cherry Creek. Okay. Cherry Creek is one of the most expensive, probably the most expensive area in the Denver metro that I know of. The mall is, I think, right there. And it's a really pretty neighborhood. Think of it like kind of like the Del Mar-ish of Denver. So you got almost a 12,000 square foot house, 10 million, 11 million. That's a bargain compared to Aspen. 5 bedroom, 6 bath. Much like homes that are found in Aspen, the Hamptons, and St. Bart's. So yeah, this is the bougie part of Denver. But it's really cool because there are a lot of trees. It's very shady, shaded. And it's very pretty. And there's cool old architecture. And there's a little bit of new, a little bit of old. And the streets are just really neat and split apart. And I feel like there's a parkway down the middle of the streets, like a big, there's trees going out in the middle of the parkway and trees on the side. So there's these canopies, like kind of cool tree tunnels you're going through as you drive through the neighborhoods. Here's 6 million in Belmar. 6,000 square foot, 5 bedroom, 5.5 bath. 41 days, and your payment would only be the low price of 33,283. I like your face, Tara. I like it. South Birch Street. It's a cool kind of modern old school. 6 million again, 5,600 square foot. 5 bedrooms, 2 and 3/4 bath. That's interesting. St. Paul. 9,400 square foot. Let's see, they're kind of neat. There's like trees, foliage, and stuff around. Here we go. Let's look at this one. Want to look at it? Let's get deeper in one. Then we'll wrap it up. 6 bedrooms, 7 bath, 8,500 square feet. Let's see if it's going to pull up for me. Let's see what the inside looks like. Pretty modern. Big open kitchen to living room, and then this big slider that that's a cool fridge. You can see inside of it. Ooh, big pantry with its own sink, prep kitchen area. I guess you call that butler's pantry or something. Lots of vino. Cool modern fireplace. Yeah. So see, this is neat when they can open up all the way and they're like stacked doors. Opens all the way up, so you have open concept living. And then they have cool sunshades over the top. Okay, so this is the master. And you have one of these walls with a 3-way fireplace. A lot of times those go into a bathroom. So this just it goes into a sitting area, so you can see, which I kind of like better than the bathroom style ones. It's kind of weird being able to see through the fireplace into the bathroom when somebody's showering or tubbing or whatever. So this cool, keeps this nice and private, but I like the freestanding tub and the nice shower. Ooh, about that. That is a bathroom. That's some wallpaper there. It's kind of pretty. Must be a little girl's room or something, young ladies. Oh, and they have a pool. That's good. Dang it, I know the name of these things. They're pretty cool. This awning system. Well, the wood and stuff. Basically, it's a kit that sells these. It's just a kit for the brackets, and then you buy the lumber and you put it together. It's pretty expensive, but they're cool and they're nice and pretty easy to put together. And they might sell the sun sails too. I don't know. So that's what you get for $6 million in Cherry Creek in Denver. So there's probably other stuff that might suit your style better. That's not personally my style, but just wanted to look at one of them and kind of get an idea of what it looks like for a 8,500 square foot house in Cherry Creek. So now we've looked at some of the least expensive, some of the most expensive in Denver metro area. I have no idea, but anyway, it's July. So you go in there, you got to pay, a price to be a part of it. But if you're going to be doing a lot of high-end luxury stuff, Chinese corporations just, have millions and millions of dollars. So to come in and buy a $4 million house, assistance, this house in Rancho Santa Fe that we sold, there was a team of like 4 or 5 and 5 or 6 guys that came in. They shook my hand, walked through the whole 9,000 square foot house in 2 minutes, and then they went out in the backyard to play basketball in the private basketball court. And the 2 assistant ladies went through the whole house and did all the negotiations, picked what furniture they wanted, and discussed everything. Then came back with prices after but they did most of the negotiation. They did all. Basically, these assistants for this huge corporation picked this house and bought it. The assistants, like, they're just assistants. They aren't executives. They aren't anything. The executives didn't care. They're just like, yeah, it's good. We're gonna buy 10 more of these this month. It's not a big deal. So they buy them all over the place. So that's the kind of money these people and these organizations want. So it wasn't a person, it was an actual corporation that bought this property. And what they do is now they fly their uber rich clients to the States to stay for 2 or 3 months at a time in this house and experience, San Diego and the United States in a cool way. So they just put them up in this house for a month or 2 or 3 or whatever it is to check it out, and then they come back. So pretty interesting. So the point of all that is that if you have high-end listings and or places that that are a hot market like Denver and the areas around there, it's a good idea to get in front of the people that potentially buying it. Now that was a big scale, but when we're looking at the data before about where people are moving from into Denver, this is all smart stuff to be thinking about to get in front of clients and to get your listing sold better, faster, higher, and with multiple offers, hopefully. But we'll see you all next week, and thanks for coming to the weekly real estate news with the Wise Agent Society. I hope you all have a good week.